School is the place that it's been decided that I will be in until I get 18. So that's dandy. And you know, everybody makes some memories at school, and I'd like to share some. School is many times referred to the place where you waste time. But I digress, since there are breaks, which most of your fun is made in, and probably like 60% of my stories are from them. So, you know, let's start with one about the opposite. Homework. For this story, we will go to far away in time, like 2nd grade or so. 2nd and 1st grade are magical time, where you want to be like the adults, and you know, one of those things are homework. In 2nd grade, we had a notebook of all the homework we have done, and I wanted to fill it to the last page, the very, very last page. So I did, with homework I gave myself. And as a bonus, after doing it, I gave it to my mother and asked her to grade me. The grades were about 90 to 100%, and when I checked in my notebook from that time to the results, it came out to have most of my answer correct. So the grades were pretty right. Another one story is in about 6th grade, and we have learned biology or botany or something like that, and I really didn't want to do homework. So after class I've made a deal with the teacher that if I show him a petition with 50 signatures, I won't have to do homework. So I spent 2 breaks just collecting signs from 50 other people. I've ended up in a realization that I could just let a bunch of 1st graders to sign on this piece of paper, since they don't really care what they are signing on, and probably are excited to do a thing that was grown up, I think. So I have gotten about 30-40 signs from the 1st graders. Eventually I have showed that teacher my petition, and he approved, and I got no homework. For one day. That's a bit of a stupid deal to make, because doing the actual homework would have probably taken me less time than the petition, so that was stupid and kind of useless of me to do that. Speaking of useless stuff to do, there's another story that includes very little conclusion. 4th grade. I think in the spring, my mother or father, I don't really remember who, told me to get a book to the school library. I usually walk on foot to school, since the way to it is almost exactly a mile, and that's not much to walk to school. Plus, it was a downhill decline, so it's like pretty easy. Downside is the book was comically large. Like, to give you a perspective, it had reached about my chest, and I was the 2nd highest in my class, and probably 4th grade too, so, you know, big book. So I carried it to school, and asked the secretary where I should put the book. They didn't want the book, so I carried it back home with me. Now that was harder. It wasn't impossible, not even very hard. It's not the steepest road to walk, but still. Though the book was large...
Wait!
Yes?
What kind of book was it?
It was an atlas. Joke, you know. Though the book was large, my mind didn't stay heavy for long, since I agreed somehow to get it back to school again. And this time they agreed to keep the book, and now it's probably a coffee table or something. Getting to a completely new topic, there's also a story about that time in 7th grade where our teacher did a pretty swag move and gave us a little pot, where he put in some candied ginger, and told us that if someone was angsty or stressed, they could take from the pot and eat a piece to relax, but not be pigs and take all of it for ourselves. Naturally, it was finished in less than a week. Like, everybody wanted a piece, including me. So then the teacher said to us that he couldn't just fill it always, so he only put it in once a month, and if it was empty, he wouldn't put in anymore. So everyone geared down a bit, and became more relaxed. Just kidding, there was still a group of 4 to 5 kids who just ate it like free candy from a van, and it's not like they were that stressed. Because of them, the teacher didn't refill it more than once, and that was the end of the story, and no one took from the pot. Then, half a year later, at June, when we were packing the things from the class, we found something a bit moldy inside the pot, and it turned out that he did put in something, this time chocolate and maybe a bit of ginger. And the moisture and the ginger made a little moss thingy, and it was clear to everybody that it's not something anyone would like to eat, so he threw the remains to the garbage. So, yeah, that's been a story. I think I'll end this video and...
What about all the things you said about breaks?
That's a story for another time. Go back. Okay, with that stick monster taken care of, we can end this video.
What?
Na 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 na.